Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are going to talk about 5 things that Twitch absolutely hates. So, why is it important? Well, Twitch is a pretty angry place sometimes. I'm sure you've been to different forums all around the internet, especially on Reddit. Reddit is so angry. But it's important not to fall into the same traps that most people do when they're surfing Twitch. If you can avoid being angry, you're going to lead a happier life. We're not going to be talking about, the normal things that everybody hates, like bad audio, bad video, not talking to your community. All right, so dude that I barely know, what makes you an authority to talk about things that people hate? Well, my name is Skullstream. I've been partnered on Twitch for about 2 years now, coming up. I've been full-time for 1 year. So I have a lot of experience in the Twitch arena. 4 years worth of time on Twitch is a lifetime in meeting angry people. And the funny part about a lot of this misplaced anger is that most of it's avoidable. So I'm not going to wishy-wash about it anymore. Let's dive right into it. So the first thing that makes people really angry on Twitch is almost universal. And it's universal because we all share the same experience with this emotion. That emotion is entitlement. What does entitlement sound like? It sounds like, well, I really deserve more views, or, this took me 40 hours to do and people should really see it. And, I did this, so I deserve this. I'll stop you right there. You don't deserve anything. You guys might think that's a pretty harsh view to take, but let me explain. You guys ever heard of, Edgar Allan Poe? Have you ever heard of Vincent van Gogh? These were two leaders in their time, both in the field of writing and art respectively, who didn't gain fame until after they had died. They had dedicated their lives to these pursuits, and they hadn't become famous or appreciated until after they were already dead. There's a reason why the trope of starving artists has been that way for historical centuries now. Sometimes you make stuff, and sometimes it's really good, but sometimes nobody sees it, and it's a travesty, and, maybe these people do deserve it. But here's the thing. Everybody out there is creating content, especially the people on Twitch. Most people on Twitch have dabbled in being a streamer. Most people on Twitch have also dabbled in creating content on Twitter, or creating content on Instagram or TikTok or any other platform. So when somebody comes out and they're like, I really deserve more views. Why? Everybody around you is creating just like you are, except they're not complaining about it. So when a person expresses entitlement, it is a specifically disgusting emotion to see because we're all creating. Do all of us deserve views? That's not for us to decide. That's for our audience to decide. Take a look at YouTube's 2018 Rewind video. It's the most disliked video in YouTube history. And it's not for lack of production quality that went into it or lack of fame of the people that participated in the video. It is strictly because people just hated it. They just hated it. We don't know why, but did it deserve to be the most disliked video in YouTube history? YouTube with over 100 million viewers. Can you honestly say that it didn't deserve more hype? No. As content creators, we don't get to determine the value of the work that we create. The value of what we create is determined by our audience. In the case of YouTube, they found that value pretty low. Whereas, maybe somebody who takes a cat picture that takes them 7 seconds to frame up the shot, take it, and then post it online to Twitter, maybe it gets 1 million likes. We've all seen that happen before. Does that mean that the cat is more valuable than, this 2018 YouTube video, which probably took thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars worth of production money and time? Yeah. The audience decided they saw more value in the cat picture. And that's actually the yardstick we're all working against. If we're not creating content that's more valuable to our audience than a picture of a cat, we're probably doing it wrong. Like and subscribe if you would rather be looking at a picture of a cat. Maybe some of us have gotten a following along the way. Maybe some of us have figured out what we're doing. Most of us probably haven't. And when we see other people think they deserve views when we've been through that same struggle, it's really hard to get behind them and support them because honestly, the people that are watching them, giving them their time, those are the people that you should be thankful for. Like, they're not going to get that time back. You're not going to get the time you spent here watching this back. And all we can do as creators is thank those people for seeing us, while we're alive, for seeing us while we're still alive. Thank you for your time. That last one took a really long time. Let's move on to number 2. Try and breeze through it. Fake fucking people. There's a website called thescienceofpeople.com, and they conducted a study involving 1,036 respondents. And they asked a question. The question they asked was, what do you find the most annoying? And they gave them 4 choices. Which one do you think is the most annoying? Answer in the comments below. Over 70% of the respondents to this 1,036 person survey concluded that fake people were the most annoying. We hate fake people. We hate people that look like they're trying to sell us something. People that are trying to get us to do stuff. Like and subscribe. We hate it when people are trying to manipulate us to their own benefit. And most of the big scandals on Twitch have been perpetrated by people that are fake. Fake viewership is a big deal on Twitch. Fake gossip is a big deal on Twitch. Faked ailments are a big deal on Twitch. There was a dude that was in a wheelchair for years on Twitch, and people found out later he could actually walk. And Twitch is a really personal place to hang out with people too. Like, you get to know your favorite streamers. Your streamers interact with you. You become friends with them. And the reason this one is so personal to people is that when you have an image of somebody that you've developed over a long period of time and all of a sudden they're no longer this person, it's really jarring and you feel like you've been lied to. It'd be like finding out that Mr. Rogers was really an asshole. And in streaming, it's really hard to avoid this too, because the landscape that streaming has set up over the last few years, people are trying to convince us that we should be friends with everybody. We should network with everybody. If we give enough to everybody, eventually they'll give back to us. And, you know, if we become involved and do this and do that and do these 100 things, people will become involved and return the favor to us. And that's just not true. You can bend over backwards and you can be the biggest servant to the most amount of people possible on Twitch. And that's no guarantee that you're going to see traction in the growth of your channel. The only thing you should be worried about if you want to grow your channel on Twitch is being interested in people that are interested in your content. So Skull, how the fuck do I know somebody's interested in my content? It's actually not that hard. Are people interacting with your content? Are they commenting? Are they talking to people in your chat? Are they asking you questions about whatever you're doing, whatever you've been working on? And can they tell somebody what you've been up to for the past month? I'd argue if somebody doesn't know what you've been doing for a month, well, they're probably not that interested in your content. So don't be fake. Surround yourself with genuine people. Be a genuine person. And worry about people that are interested in your content. And you can never go wrong. This one might be my favorite, and this one's definitely the most public of all of these different things. Rules! Twitch loves them, right? Or does Twitch hate them? Twitch and any Twitch drama site trying to be a platform-specific version of TMZ has a real love affair with rules and TOS, you know, terms of service of Twitch, what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And there's a lot of people out there that are way obsessed with what you're allowed to do on Twitch or not. And not for nothing, if people followed my advice from the last tip and just stayed interested with their content and people that were interested with their content, this whole thing wouldn't even be a problem. But we're going to address it anyway, just because it happens all the time. It's actually become amusing to me. So let me open with this. There's a lot of content on Twitch that is intentionally provocative. There's also a lot of content on YouTube that's intentionally provocative. You know, taking a camera into a public restroom, tossing cats, taking a camera into a public restroom, tossing cats, poking dead bodies. These are things that we're well acquainted with. Now, the thing is, in almost all the cases of provocativeness on Twitch, or in almost all provocative cases on Twitch, it's almost always intentional. It's not people that don't know what they're doing, and it's almost never an accident. These are people that do these things to engage a very specific set of responses. And the set of responses that they're trying to engage are viral responses, getting people to talk about them. And it's always the same group of people that get involved with this. So group number one are the rule bearers. They're the people that are the keepers of what the TOS says they can and can't do. They're like legal experts, like they wrote the Constitution of the United States, and their next calling in life was to enforce the terms of service of Twitch. And you can usually tell these guys from everybody else. They usually sound something like this. Twitch is a gaming website. Twitch hasn't been a gaming website for a long time now. Or just a gaming website for a long time now. Prior to Twitch existing, it was actually Justin TV, which was famous for just having cameras on all the time. There were TV shows on it. There was all sorts of real life stuff on it. And for a time, Twitch tried to restrict itself to video gaming content only. It has since reverted back to basically allowing everything on it. So the argument that Twitch is a gaming site is almost completely invalid. There's not supposed to be porn on Twitch. Twitch actually does a pretty good job of enforcing not having pornography, barring that ninja scandal. But Twitch usually does a pretty good job of enforcing not having pornography on the website. Where it gets, I don't know, where people find issue with it is they really love talking about cleavage. Too much, too little. It doesn't seem like anybody can satisfy the Twitch usership across the board. It's either too much, too little. Whatever the case, people are always talking about boobs. And I'm going to save you guys a lot of time, especially the ones that really want to enforce the terms of service. Boobs are awesome. And every conversation about the topic is going to end the same. Boobs are awesome. They always will be awesome. They're going to be awesome for forever. If they make you angry, well, clearly you're not one of the billions of people supporting the adult entertainment industry. The pervs. These are the people that do totally support the adult entertainment industry. Then we have the knights. Now, these don't have to be white knights. These are just people that defend the streamer no matter what the streamer does. These are people where if the streamer could have murdered somebody, they will defend that person's right to murder somebody. They should probably be committed. Group number 4, the crowd. You know, these are the people that have, you know, torches and pitchforks, and they are ready to kill somebody, right? It doesn't matter who. Anybody could have done anything. These are people that are just there for the riot. They're the people that don't even believe in a cause, and they come out to throw smoke bombs and human fecal matter at the SWAT team. They're people that watch Jerry Springer in their free time. Next group of people are the jealous people. The ones that say, you know, this person shouldn't be doing this, but they're really thinking, I should be getting these views. This is interfering with my content. These people be stealing my views. Are you over-sexualizing your content? Are you poking a dead body? Are you habitually bringing cameras into public restroom facilities? Are you lying about whether you can walk or not? If your answer was no, then I assume your audience doesn't overlap with the people that you're jealous of. It doesn't really make sense for you to be angry that they're profiting off of people you think you could be profiting off of. The next group, people that just want to watch the world burn. This is me. Like, if there's a good clusterfuck, I'm there. Give me my binoculars. Give me a video camera. Let me see these people go at it. I won't be talking, but I'll sure as heck be observing. Next group of people are the isms. People that support a social agenda or a social cause or speak out against a social agenda or a social cause, whether or not the event actually applies. And these are people that are going to be citing like legal precedents and legalese and different court cases and all these different things that you're going to forget 30 seconds after they spent 30 minutes typing it out in the forum. If you don't agree with them, beware. They're coming at you. Oh, and the last group that just adds gasoline onto this whole conflagration are the press. And I include the press to be, you know, Twitch itself. Twitch's hands are kind of tied because they have to respond to a lot of these provocative situations. Reddit forums, other content creation channels which cover drama, like Twitch fails, things like that. The press will add momentum to all of these situations, and they'll add momentum to anybody's argument. For each group of people like this, there is usually an associated press group that exists where these people can talk about their agenda when these events come up. So at the end of the day, the funny thing is with all of this, those are the groups that all participate. It almost doesn't matter because the likelihood of a person getting permanently banned for doing any of this stuff on Twitch is very low. The reason for that is it's really hard for Twitch to get new usership. And by banning somebody permanently from their platform, there's a good chance that they're going to have people that won't come back. And in marketing, earned value is a huge deal. Earned value is basically your organic traffic, people that are true fans of whoever's involved in one of these situations. Twitch isn't going to risk alienating them because earned value is extremely hard to obtain. Earned value is why streamers are so valuable. Earned value is why they're approached by sponsors. Earned value takes time, effort, and if Twitch could replicate it themselves, they would. But not everybody understands how to do it. The number of people that have large followings on the service are very, very limited. So the likelihood of Twitch ever permanently getting rid of somebody who has taken time to build up their following over years, bringing them into the Twitch ecosystem, is very small. So Twitch probably isn't going to permanently ban anybody. And actually, several streamer management groups have weighed in saying that as long as the scandal is big enough, the scandal ends up being what they call ROI, return on investment positive, i.e., whatever publicity they gain by engaging in this bannable activity or suspension-worthy activity actually increases their notoriety. Now, even if it's negative press, it increases the amount of people that are talking about them. And what the Harvard Business Review has found is that even bad press literally is good news. In a study of book reviews, they found that relatively unknown authors who had received a negative review on their book actually had sales increase 45%. Versus if an author that was already well known had a negative review on their book, it only decreased sales a little bit. So too long didn't read is there's no such thing as bad press. To the people that see these situations and people that get angry at these different things, you don't have to be angry. And actually by being angry, you're kind of playing into the whole plan of doing provocative content to begin with. Provocative content succeeds because people talk about it. And if people are that angry about it, the best thing that they can do is not talk about it. The next thing that Twitch hates, gonna get all sciencey on you for a second here, and it's low arousal, negative emotion. Arousal, Skull, that sounds sexual. It's totally not, although I guess it can be. A low arousal emotion is an emotion that causes a physical response. And things like this, like anger, is definitely a high arousal, negative emotion. We can agree anger is negative. We can also agree that anger usually makes people take action. And therefore, when people take action, they tend to talk about something more. That's basically how this arousal works. Does the arousal make them do something or does it not make them do something? We only consider one category here to be bad content because anger can be good content, rage content can be funny, disgust content can be funny. I saw this, it was so disgusting, now I gotta make my friends suffer by sending it to them too. Fear content is amazing. Like I used to play horror games on stream and fear is not a positive emotion, but it's really entertaining to watch somebody go through it. Stress, giddiness, excitement, happiness, those are all high arousal emotions, negative and positive. They make good content. Low arousal, positive emotions still work too. Think of low arousal emotions as like calmness, relaxation, serenity. These are things that might not necessarily inspire somebody to go share, but something like ASMR definitely has an audience on Twitch and people are definitely interested in it. There's definitely a need for it. So what's the last group of emotions? Low arousal, negative emotions. These are emotions that don't inspire any action, don't make people want to do anything, and therefore nobody talks about them on Twitch. And we just talked about a subject where not talking about somebody is the worst thing that you could do to them. When you're in content creation and people stop acknowledging you exist or people forget about you, basically like you're dead to the world. Being forgotten and not talked about is way worse than being reviled or hated in the world of content creation. So let's talk about low arousal, negative emotion, sadness, boredom, tiredness. You're going to recognize these as a lot of things that channels at the bottom of a directory actually exhibit on a daily basis. You know, we've all been to the chat where people are, sort of playing the game and I'm not talking to anybody. And, somebody comes in, they say something, and it takes the person 30 seconds to respond. That's boredom. Sadness. Sadness is okay once in a while if it's fleeting. If you're trying to connect with your audience, but nobody wants it as their main export. Everybody has struggles and trials and tribulations in their life. In fact, our brains actually seek out things that are bothering us so that we can fix them or work on them. Or what I'm trying to say is everybody's got problems. Why should anybody care about yours? It would be far more productive to care about theirs. And the last thing that Twitch hates, everything. Everything, Skull? Everything. Let me explain. No matter what kind of content you create in Twitch, no matter what anybody does, no matter what kind of content we create on YouTube, people are always going to hate it. Maybe not the majority of people, but certainly some people. No matter what you do, and if you don't believe me, travel to the comment section of any YouTube video across the entire website. There's billions of hours worth of content out there, and there are always downvotes, even on really good content. So what I'm trying to say is there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do, and you don't have to please everybody. You shouldn't try to please everybody. If the content I was creating became a haven for incels and racists and misogynists, then I wouldn't want to be known as that safe place for those kinds of people. It's okay to piss people off as long as you're pissing off the right kind of people. So why did we talk about all this just now? Why do I need to know everything that Twitch hates, Skull? So that you don't have to become part of any of these ongoing conversations. You don't have to be angry while you're on Twitch. It's really easy to come to Twitch and eventually find something that puts you off or something that makes you angry. And being the kind of streamer that produces this sort of instructional content, I do run into people that are frequently, frustrated, and they think they're frustrated because of external reasons, and they're really not. So if you have a friend that's angry, send them this video. Show them that by being angry, they're probably working against themselves. By being angry, they're probably feeding into the things that are making them mad. Give them the perspective that there's, over 56,000 live channels on Twitch. There's Netflix, which millions of people watch. There's YouTube, which has 100 million different users. There's more than enough content out there where if somebody comes to your channel and they don't like what you're offering, they can go find whatever they want. They don't have to tolerate things that they hate. So don't become part of the problem. It's fun to shit on Twitch all the time, but it really is a beautiful thing. I've been on it for 4 years, and I've experienced my share of frustrations for sure, but it's still the best place in the world to find people who are interested in the same things that we are. I wouldn't have the same group of friends that I have today without Twitch, especially as somebody that's, on the older side of the gaming community. There's no better place for me to encounter people that share my hobby. I can't go to class and find somebody that's also playing Doom. I don't have class. I have Twitch, and that's where I connect with my friends. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty awesome. If you like this video, if you like the audio to this video, I just made another one last week that explains how to make your microphone sound good. Any microphone sound good. So go ahead and check that out. And if you liked this video or liked any of the content, liked the message behind it, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to produce one video a week. I'm going to see if I can increase that going forward. And I'm live on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come by, say hi, and yell at me, pat me on the back, whatever. We can talk this out.